Ladies and gentlemen, currently we are living in one of the darkest and unpleasant phases that the world has ever seen in the recent past. It's now nearly 40 days since Russia invaded Ukraine. The Russian armed forces initiated a full scale invasion of Ukraine, making it the first time since World War II that a nuclear power has invaded another country. Since the war broke out, some of the biggest world powers like the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and most of the European Union have come out in strong opposition to Russian action. And then there are some countries that are non aligned in the war. Countries like India, China, Brazil, Indonesia, and Egypt refuse to take sides in this conflict. And among these countries, perhaps the biggest democratic nation to take a firm stand on neutrality is India, the world's largest democracy. At a time when India's relationship with the West is stronger than any other point in its history, its fence-sitting stance has definitely caused some diplomatic tension with the West. Just last month, India abstained from voting for a third time in the United Nations on resolutions condemning Russia. On each occasion, India called for immediate ceasefire, urged for diplomatic dialogue, and stressed on a peaceful resolution. From India's perspective, this was a logical and strategic move considering the fact that Russia is India's biggest defense partner. But is that the only reason? Perhaps not. History has always showed that India has pursued a non-aligned foreign policy ever since her independence in 1947. So why should it be any different this time around? Going back to her strategic relationship with Russia, besides importing arms and fighter jets, India also majorly relies on the Eurasian giant for oil and gas. Another factor is a Russian-owned company building India's biggest nuclear power plant in Kudankulam, almost near the southernmost tip of India in Tamil Nadu. Understandably, the West have expressed their disappointment for India not taking a stance on the ongoing crisis. When the war first broke out towards the end of February, amidst rising global pressure, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin and reiterated the hope for a cessation of violence and called for a peaceful dialogue. Sometime later, he stressed on pretty much the exact same thing to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Not surprisingly, Vladimir Putin welcomed India's independent and balanced stand, which has upset the West. They believe that India has chosen the aggressor's side. India, though, remains firm in her resolve to maintain neutrality over the conflict. The country's leadership believes they acted in India's best interest. While the West continued to mount pressure, India focused on evacuating its citizens to safety and worked hard to bring more than 20,000 Indians home from Ukraine, most of them students. Ukraine's war has certainly been India's biggest test and balancing act in recent times, and it remains to be seen if India will continue to play the non-aligned card going forward to secure her own national interest at the end of the day. Make no mistake, Russia has already committed some serious, unforgivable war crimes in Ukraine, and it's only getting worse day after day. India may soon have to rethink its whole neutral policy if things turn ugly in the war. Let's all hope and pray that doesn't come to that. Do you think that India should take sides in this conflict? Leave a comment, and as always, thank you so much for watching.